Kenny, do you want to go ahead and take this introduction away?
Fuck, I don't even know the name of the anime or the fucking show.
You got this, dude. I believe in you.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the Two Tap Anime Podcast, and I am your host, Ashten.
He is the host. I'm Kenny.
Yeah, that is the host. I'm Jaz.
Nailed it, everyone. And today we're going to be talking about the two anime that we drew last week, and
I love how this started.
I was so ready to leave. I was so ready to leave, by the way.
Oh my god.
Peter Grill and the Philosopher's Stone and Monster Girl Doctor. If you can't tell by how the episode just started off, we were. I say we. I personally was offended by these anime.
Bro, my boy is just gone. He just fucking dipped from the call.
I just left.
I just also want to clarify that these are the two picks that Ashton made.
Okay.
And
so
they got both picked here.
This was everything that I wanted out of a terrible pick. And I honestly wanted to have though I didn't pan this out to be like, oh, let me just get both degenerate anime. It's like just immediately picked for 1 week, right? I was also kind of expecting like there'd be some variety. I just didn't. 2 weeks in a row, we just had both of Kenny's picks and both of mine. I was assuming that 1 week could be mine and Kenny's, 1 week could be mine and Jaz, or you know what I mean? Like I did not think that we'd just go 1 week pure DJ anime, right. And that is what we got. And oh boy, are we about to open that can of worms?
Yeah.
So
go ahead and pull up the bio for whichever one you want to start with.
So let's go ahead and we'll go with Peter Grill and the Philosopher's Stone. Let me go ahead and pull up that bio real quick.
Bio.
Bio.
Time. We didn't finish the introduction, but basically we're Two Top Anime. Here we watch 2 episodes of a new anime we haven't seen. We review it. And by that, we mean we're gonna trash these 2 animes.
Oh, we're about to. All right. You ever seen an alley-oop in basketball like executed to perfection? Like these 2 anime just got lobbed up, and we're in the sky already, one-handed. But
that last scene in Space Jam where he's just like,
from half court, just extends his arm out. It's gonna be amazing. All right. All right. Let me know when you're ready.
I wasn't ready for this bio. No,
right? Because we don't read them.
Right. So I just want to throw out the bio for Crunchyroll just immediately opens up with this show contains adult themes. Viewer discretion is advised. No bio. I have never seen a bio though on Crunchyroll where it opens up with, "Hey, this show contains adult themes. Viewer discretion is advised." I've never seen that in a bio. It usually just goes straight in, even like in like the bloody shonen animes. You know, it doesn't even do any of that. No, this one is just like, "Hey, listen."
Bruh.
Close the door. Like, close the door. That's what
you don't want your mom walking in on this one.
All right, so the bio starts with Peter Grill is the world's strongest fighter, but his ascent to the top came with an unexpected consequence. Women around the world, human and monster alike, want to bear his genetically superior children. Since he's currently engaged to the love of his life, Peter isn't too keen on his sudden popularity. It will take every ounce of self-control for Peter to keep his hands to himself and his relationship with his Priamor in one piece. So
right now I have the poster up, right? And after watching those first 2 episodes, right, the fucking fiance isn't even the person most prominent on the like, what the hell is this, dude? All right,
hold on. I gotta look at this poster again. I gotta look at this poster one more time.
Right.
Because
the show isn't about the fiance.
I mean, it kind of is.
Is this the one that we're bashing first?
Yeah. We're going Peter Grill and the Philosopher's Time. So I looked at honestly when it came to picking this anime, it literally was just pick. You guys had picked a lot of the really good ones, so I was just kind of like left with just You really did. You guys did pick some really good simulcast to watch, so I just kind of Kobe'd some off-brand looking. So yeah, that one's got some plot. There we go. Go for it.
He went to Walmart, said that one.
Yeah, honestly.
Never go to Walmart.
Oh boy, we learned a lot of things. So I'm gonna let Jaz go first. I'm gonna let Jaz go first.
All right, let's try to pull out these notes.
You shouldn't have a lot of notes.
There was, surprisingly enough, something that I did like about this, just right out the gate. The episodes were not 20 minutes long. It didn't waste that much of my time. We're gonna go. I'm sorry. I know how I said you were gonna go first. You were getting your notes ready, but that's a huge pro. It didn't waste my time as much as it should.
I'll agree with that. I'm glad that the episodes are short because that's how much I dislike the show.
Yeah, same.
That's a positive though. I don't think I've seen too
not
many.
A positive. Not honestly, a positive.
Honestly, with everything that we had watched, it's a positive because there's. I kind of do want to see more animes like this in the format, in the sense that like some shows, they feel like they need to stretch out the entire like 22 minutes and it's not good, right? The substance can be filled in with like the 15 minutes or whatever, right? So for example, I think we talked about this at one point, Your Lie in April. I feel like Your Lie in April is a really good anime, but I also feel it wanted to fill out a lot of space in the competitions or just in general with some of the characters, so they just had to keep going on and on and on, repeating the same like inner monologues between characters over and over again just to fill up time. And that's like the thing that I hate the most about it. Other than that, I feel like it's really good. I don't think it should have been as long as it should have been, right? And at least this show, it knows like from right out the beginning, we're there's no way we can fill up 22 minutes and keep everyone's interest in this. We're just gonna slap some plot on the screen and call it a day.
I think like the whole inner monologue, suspense, drama buildup, like that kind of stuff is essential to the anime, because you wouldn't really feel so much for, well, not that I feel so much for the anime anyways, but like the character interactions, you kind of want to get more out of it, and that's why they do that. Maybe they dragged it on too long, right?
Yeah,
but they had a reason for it.
There was a reason, and I agree with you. Like they had to be done, but at the same time, I feel like it shouldn't have gone on for too long. But also, we do not want to talk about this anime so much that we are talking about other anime instead of it. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, like this is the Peter Grill review, but we're not talking about Peter Grill.
We're not talking about Peter Grill.
We're 5 minutes into it, and we're talking about other anime because it's that bad.
All right, so Jaz has his notes ready. I'm gonna go ahead and let him have the mic.
Okay, so as you know, I write all my notes in chronological order, and so starting from the top, as you can tell, it's not nearly as much as like the other ones that we've done so far.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Try not to focus on any point for too long, but you know me, I got to make my arguments. So first off the bat,
everyone agrees.
First off the bat, I wrote down that there was a tournament, quotation marks. The reason being is like you see nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I think tournaments are a big part of anime, right? That's a huge draw-in, and this is kind of like, so there was a tournament. Unfortunately, you didn't get to see any of it.
Yeah. We watched the curtain go down.
Yeah.
So that's how the show opens up, right? The end of a tournament, and so I'm like, whoa, yay! The next part is. This part is pretty significant, but you know, who was it? The younger of the ogres. She was the first one to like contact him after.
I got you. Her name, it's Mimi. It's Mimi.
So she comes on strong, and I wrote a note on that because I didn't know the whole show was gonna be like that. Like whenever you first come across it, you're just thinking like, dang, she comes on strong. Little did you know, the whole show is like that.
Yeah, the young naive portion of the notes.
Yeah, so I'm already on like this is just the third note, and I'm like, oh, it's another harem.
Oh yeah, and you couldn't tell by the poster.
The most extreme of harems, though, the fucking MC. Go on.
Continue.
Whenever he was talking to Luville, is that her name? The one he's engaged to.
Luvia, yes.
Okay, so
no, it's Luvila. Sanctus.
Whatever. The blue-haired one. The
blue-haired one. The main interest.
The girl, yeah, there we go.
Let's just keep it going.
So He was like, I'm not really certain, but how are babies made? And then she said storks. I was like, like, okay. I think that's probably the one good thing I got out of this show was that
that beautiful
storks.
joke. That
Just
beautiful joke that she just
super
lands.
innocent. Yeah, super innocent joke. It's amazing.
But yeah, by the end of the first episode, the dude had already slept with the two ogres, and I'm like, well, this is not only is this going to be a terrible show. This engagement is not going to end well. What else? Like, there's so many things that can just fall into place that are against him, and I'm sure that's what the show's going to focus on. I have a lot of things written down, but the last thing that I wrote down is that the show kind of reminds me of R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet. You know how it just forces really terrible situations? That's what this show is. It just forces things. Like,
I think I never expected Jazz to mention anything about R. Kelly, especially Trapped in the Closet, but my favorite line out of that entire now let's jump back to Kathy's house. That's literally was the anime.
The clickbait title: Peter Girl compared to R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet.
But like, you guys can kind of see it, right? How everything is just so forced. Nothing is smooth, right?
Yeah,
everything is like this has to happen this way, and it's like, come on.
I'll say one thing real quick. None of it was funny. Like, it's supposed to be funny. None of it was. I was just like,
I didn't find it funny.
I was like, this is fucking dumb. Like,
I was laughing at it, not with it.
Yeah, I was laughing at how stupid it was. I was
laughing at it, not with it.
I can't believe I was watching this.
In under no circumstance at all would you have watched this show had it not been for this podcast, which is another check, by the way. Goal attended, right? But also, oh my god, I'm so glad that I did though. I'm actually kind of glad that I watched this.
And this is the last thing that I have to say. I already, bashed on it enough. The last thing that I have to say, me being me, I notice things that other people don't really pay attention to. That scene where they're at the party, right? And he's in another room with the two ogre girls, and they're trying to be all like, doing stuff with him, but where no one can see. All right. When they pan around the room, there's no wall in that room. Every side is open.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He
I don't know if you guys noticed that.
No, I know.
Yeah.
It was stupid. Yeah.
There was like a little like white fence, right? So to set that scene up just a little bit more to talk about how stupid it was, right? So Peter somehow, like he messes up. Episode 1, he messes up. Like, dude is engaged to like the purest girl, and these two Jazz already mentioned it before. He ends up like getting with these two ogre girls, and then episode 2, it's like him getting his blessing from the guildmaster, who is just so happens to be the pure girl's like
dad.
Yeah. And so of course the dude is just like super against him, hates him, can't figure out why. We all know why, and perfect, right? And then it sets up to where like they're celebrating because he ends up getting the blessing, and they're on this big party, and like Jazz mentioned beforehand, they had like this little section I wouldn't say like it was in the back of the room, but like Jazz mentioned, the room is open, and the only thing that's like kind of stopping this section is like maybe a small white picket fence or something. I don't remember what it was, because I do remember like her like hopping over it, or someone hopping over the fence at some point, and chaos ensues.
Also, wasn't it like under a table?
Yes, it was under a table.
The table didn't have like
it had a tablecloth.
Like it had a tablecloth, but like
that was it.
Right, like it wasn't like covering anything. Like, look at a tablecloth in your fucking kitchen right now, right? It's just like not there all the way to the floor. It wasn't that fancy.
So I'm assuming Jazz has said his piece. I'm gonna immediately segue.
I have nothing good to say about it.
I'm gonna go right into mine then.
Right.
So because this was gonna be like the end piece for like my I wouldn't say review, but I guess segment, right? On it. This show felt like I feel like Japan just like trolled like the American porn industry. They just made and looked at a bunch of videos and just looked at how dumb these plots are, and then just turned it into an anime. They're like, see how dumb this is. Look at this, because it felt like watching like a really dumb Brazzers video, right? Especially the kitchen table one. That, oh my god, it was hilarious. So he has like no pants, and he's at the dinner table, and he's just scooted up to it, and it's literally something set up in like one of those types of videos, right? Where he's just got the apron over and like, oh no, I'm just having a good time at dinner. Like, it's one of those moments, right? And the comedy in the bit is him like not wanting to get up from this table, and like everyone trying to get him to get up from this table, and he just doesn't want to expose himself. And the bit goes on for a little too long. Initially, it was sort of funny. I think the best character in this entire show. Actually, no, I take that back, because he's got a weird like daughter complex. Never mind. I was gonna say it was a guild master, but then he like got all weird about how he felt about his daughter. So I'm gonna say no. So there is no good characters in the show. There's actually none. There's no redeemable. There's no redeemable characters.
Yeah, I was waiting to hear what he was gonna say. Like, who's the good character in the show?
The only plausible argument would be for the daughter, because of all the people, at least her jokes land. At least her jokes.
Yeah, she did have the Storks joke. Out of all the characters that made a joke, she had the one that landed. So you know what?
She's a good person in the universe. But
God, you feel so bad for her.
Yeah, she's getting screwed over. Because okay, so for me, right, the one thing I hate about like anime is like really spineless MCs and shit. Just like, I hate spineless people in general. Just do it. Do the thing. Do it. Whatever it is that you gotta do it, right? Or don't just be like, I can't do it. I can't talk to her. I can't save the world. I don't give a fuck. Do it. So this guy is kind of like spineless in a different way. Right, where it's like he gives into the shit too quickly. Where it's like, dude, you have a fiance that you supposedly have been dating for like 2 or 3 years or some shit. I don't know. They've been together for a while. They touched on that, and suddenly these two fucking, I don't know what they were, like demons, succubus.
They're ogres.
They're ogres. Okay, ogres.
In this universe, that's an ogre.
Yeah, that was an ogre. Yeah. So the two ogre girls just like jump on him, and he's just like, well, it is what it is. And I'm like,
yeah, he put up maybe like
he put up just enough resistance where it's like you thought he might have not done it, but then it's just like the next morning, and it's like, oh,
I think it's really it's hilarious, right? In the fact that he's like, okay, I have this will, I have this resolve. No, only girl is her. That's it. I'd like. He talks so much about how much he cares about this girl.
Yeah,
and like, you think that he's gonna resist this a lot more. No, it's like literally like a paper napkin. He's just like gone.
Trash. This is why we hate men.
Men are trash, bro.
I did write this thing. The opening kind of bumps, and then the closing kind of bumps, and I was like, whatever.
I didn't feel the same way. I did not feel the
same. I was gonna say, I didn't like the intro. The outro was alright. I didn't make it a note of it, but the outro was alright.
I will say this. I was like, the opening was like kind of cool, but it also made extremely clear what this show is about.
Oh yeah, I was gonna mention, like, are we just gonna ignore the elephant in the room, especially with that intro?
This is my first 2 notes on episode 1. Opening kind of bums though. Opening makes it perfectly clear what the show is about, and I already hate it. I was just like, whatever, let's get the fuck out of here. Animation. So mine's just kind of a list, all right? And we'll just go from there. That animations are kind of poo.
I didn't feel that way, but
kind of poo. The ogre sisters weren't funny. The girlfriend's super innocent, which made some of the things she said funny. Right, yeah. Especially the stork thing. But like, if that's your one good joke, it's
not enough.
All right, the censors were both very necessary and terribly done. There's censors in this show, by the way, and they're necessary. You need them, and they're just awful, just absolutely just terrible.
I love the image that I sent you with the 3 Spider-Man mosaics for censoring.
Yeah,
they're all pointing at each other. Oh my god!
It shows, for me, it's annoying because it's like everything I dislike in a fucking show, in any type of show. I don't do this to me. Don't fucking do this to me. Right?
I just love the fact that I was able to get you to watch this, or I technically had to force you to watch this.
And then when I finished episode 1, the last note I had was 100% a no, but I have to watch 2 episodes.
You would have stopped at episode 1.
Yeah, he would have stopped before episode 1.
Yeah, and then everything else.
The intro. He would have stopped the intro.
Yeah, everything else is just like random thoughts that I had throughout, which is like, bro, I hate the show. I fucking hate it here, and these episodes were a lot shorter than I expected it to be. Thanks, I'm out.
Thanks, I'm out.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just get it out the way, right? Like it's made to sell figures. It's made to sell waifus. It does that job well.
I don't care.
All right, now I have to ask the question.
Waifu bait, don't care.
Waifu bait, don't care.
Yeah.
Which sister's the best sister now?
I don't even remember their names. I don't remember anyone's name except for Peter Grill, and that's because he's the fucking
that's the title.
Character.
It's the title character.
It's in the title.
I think that's another thing that.
Also, wait, hold on. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, go ahead.
But if the deal with the dad was, if you win this fucking tournament, then yeah, I'll give you my blessing, no questions asked. Why the fuck is that still a big deal? Just fucking, just do it.
So to answer that question though, right? It's one of those things that like, hey, this is a huge tournament where it's literally the best fighter in the world.
Yeah.
Right. So he was like, there's no way in hell this dude is going to be able to win that tournament. If you look at him, you're like, there's no way this guy's going to win this. So that's probably why he did it. That's probably why he did it. Because he doesn't want anyone to marry his daughter.
But he did, motherfucker. So you got to be like, well, at least she's married to the strongest man in the world. Like, what the fuck could happen? What's the worst that could possibly happen?
He just didn't want anyone to begin with.
I get that. I mean, it's fine to be protective, but to that extent, I was like, nah, get me out.
I think that was supposed to be the comedy twist in it.
I'm grossed out. Get me out. Let me out.
He did gross me out. Like, he absolutely. At first, I thought he was funny.
Then I'm hitting the ejectocito. I'm out.
Get out.
I'm out.
It's got good waifu bait. It's not good a plot. It's. I mean, y'all can say what you want, but I'm gonna say it's good waifu bait. But that's all it is. It's just to sell those Dakimuras. You know, it's just there to sell the wall scrolls. It's there to sell the figures. I'm not gonna watch it though. Kenny, are you gonna continue?
God no.
Jazz, are you gonna continue?
I've already scrubbed it from my memory.
Yeah, continue.
As soon as this episode ends on the podcast, Kenny's gonna do just a memory wipe, right? He's just gonna sit there and focus really hard and just like, and it's just gone. And it's gone.
It's already
the
been
Men in Black
shredded.
like flash pin.
He's just gonna like point that at himself and just.
Okay.
What was I watching? Food Wars, cool.
Fuck yeah, Food Wars, let's go. Great show. Watch Food Wars. Don't watch this.
Don't watch this.
Best review ever.
Best review. Yeah. All right.
Rewatch Naruto for the 6th time. No, don't watch this.
Let's see here. Yeah, I think we were pretty quick about that, so I guess we're good to move on to segment 2. This is going to be a pretty short episode today, just because of the nature of the show. This is that we watched.
There isn't much to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, the shows are pretty straightforward as to what they are, and I mean that's a good thing if you're into that, but it's a bad thing if you're not, because you just kind of have to keep going with it. I mean, you don't have to keep going with it, but we do. Because of the nature of the show. Now, segment 2, Monster Girl Doctor. Unless you're a degen and you want that, and you do want to watch that, and you admit that.
Look at this poster, man.
Respect. Monster Girl Doctor. Let's see here. Apparently, it's a light novel series too.
I've noticed a lot of the newer or more recent anime that are like from not light novels. Which, I mean, I don't give a fuck where the source material is. It's just if it's good, it's good. If it's not, get me the fuck out. just out. Just. I mean, that bitch.
I don't do light novels. I mean, I do. It takes me a while.
I don't even know what a light novel even is.
It's just an anime in the form of a book. That's it.
Oh, so it's just a fucking book.
It's just a book. Yeah, but they call them light novels because they're not usually like.
It's a book.
They kind of some of them. I'm not gonna say all of them. My experience, I picked up a few, not a lot, just to look at. They're kind of printed like, a really easy like 5th grade read, right? You know what I mean?
I mean, if it's a book, it's a book. Like, it could be a fucking children's book. It could be a goddamn textbook for modern biology and shit, right? Like,
gotcha.
Fucking, yeah, like it's a book.
It's a book.
I don't know. Yeah, okay.
All right. So let's see here. The bio for Monster Girl Doctor was welcome to the town of Lindwood, where humans and monsters coexist, and rookie Dr. Glenn carries out some risque medical examinations. Whether probing deep into the gills of a mermaid, what is that word? Suturing the thighs of a flesh golem, helping a harpy lay an egg, or palpitating every scale of a dragon, no matter what or how different their looks, bodies, and properties are, Glenn devotes he gives his all to saving them, and in the process winds up with some pretty dangerous layout. I cannot say that.
You got to read words. You got to read the books, man.
Liaisons. I know.
Liaisons.
Liaisons. Oh my god, I'm so terrible. How am I in college? Dude?
Yeah, I don't know.
I knew how to say the word in my head, but for some reason my mouth could not form that word. But don't worry, it's all just part of his medical exams.
Right. Yeah, I really wish I would have read the bio before I jumped into it. But I'm like literally jumping into a lot of these blind as fuck. It's like whatever.
That's the point of the show, right? We're not really supposed to know anything beforehand. We're giving our honest reviews on something we haven't touched on before.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of figured it was going to be something like this. I mean, look, given the nature of the poster, it looks like a harem that he collectively gathers by doing examinations, and it's exactly what it is. Each episode is a new monster girl that gets introduced who has a problem, and he solves it. That's really like the formula. Yeah. It's almost like a Pokemon episode, right? I mean, granted, we only watched 2. Those 2 like really kind of were like formulaic in a way that they just go to a new city, person asks them to help them with this, they find someone who actually needs help, solve problem, or hip hooray, and gain a new waifu, add it to the repertoire. And I enjoyed it.
That was pretty much it.
I enjoyed it.
Review over.
Review over. No. Jaz, I know you have your notes. I'm gonna go ahead and once again start with you.
My handy dandy
notebook.
So in chronological order, from the top, the first thing I wrote down is there's no intro. And so I realized that's a trend now. For whatever reason, the first episode of animes don't do intros.
I think it's to get as much information in as possible for episode 1.
Yeah, but they'll usually end the episode with the
intro. Yeah, that's something that
I did notice that as well.
It opens up. I think this was the opening scene. I wrote down touching boobies, and so his hands were just like under the bra.
Yeah,
no reason. If you gotta touch someone's chest, there's no reason to go under the bra. First of all,
I mean, he was checking for lumps.
No, he wasn't. I remember what he was checking for.
He was checking for lumps.
No, he was not checking for lumps.
No. There's no way.
He was checking to see if she was pregnant or not.
That was at the end. But
that was literally that was the whole checkup. It's like sensitivity of the breast and something else. And I was just
the ears, right.
The ears. He told her that he was. No. I'm literally pulling this up right now. No, there's 100%. I'm willing to put money on this.
I don't care that much.
Hold up. No, hold up right here. I'm streaming it right now. No joke. I have the screen cap. The screen cap.
I'm not putting that on the fucking video.
That is true. So can you put up the poster? Can you put up the poster for
I can put up the poster.
Put up the poster. All right. Tell me when the poster's up.
The poster's up.
Okay, I am streaming that.
Okay, hold on.
What does that say?
Hold on. Let me. I had to pull up the stream. Wait, you gotta keep watching this shit, dude. Because the whole reason for this fucking issue.
Right. So he tells her at the beginning that he's checking for lumps, even though he knows that he's checking for something else. He just doesn't want to let her know that. Right?
Maybe. Regardless, it's stupid.
No. Well, here you go.
It's stupid.
Oh, we don't need to watch that. All right, there we go. All right. Of course. There's
we have the poster up, so you don't see it because my man's is like in there.
and look, wait for it. 2 seconds later, no lumps.
Oh, keep going.
I know. He eventually says, like, "Yeah, you're pregnant. You're expecting, right?" But like, the reason he felt up.
Another thing, if there were lumps, did he have to go? What I'm asking is because you see how tiny that bra is. Does he really need to go under it to?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how they check for breast cancer. I mean, I'm not just, but regardless,
I'm no titty expert, you know.
Yeah, we're reviewing anime. There's no way that you are.
Yeah, seriously, I'm sitting here on a Saturday evening, mid-COVID.
Okay, well, here we focus on that point for long enough. Let's
way
continue.
Too long. I just wanted to be right. I'm sorry.
One of the things I did like, I write down everything I do like, and it may not be much, but I did write down something I like. The next point is the line, "You may admire my greatness now." Dude, her introduction to the show, I was like, nice.
Yeah. Let me.
Was that the centaur?
Yeah.
Oh, the centaur. Yes.
Yeah.
She said, "You may admire my greatness now," or she's not a. Yeah, she's a centaur. I was like, is it a centaur or minotaur? It's a centaur.
Centaur. The first at the
minotaur is the opposite, where it's like beast top and regular 2 bipedal. I don't know if it has to be a human leg or whatever.
Okay, so continuing, the next on my list is that he wasn't using his stethoscope properly. I don't know if you guys realize that.
Dude, I was like, that's also on this list. It's like, that's
I'm
not how
doctor,
that works.
But dude, he was not using the stethoscope properly.
Like, I get it if he was just like, he's like, oh, wrong spot, and made kind of like a stupid joke, but it's like, no, this guy's like a legitimate good doctor, supposedly.
I'm a better doctor than he is.
Listen, you know why that shot was like that, and you know why he used
that doesn't mean it's good. That doesn't make it good. That doesn't make it acceptable. That doesn't mean I like it.
It's acceptable.
I don't care.
I'm just telling you why it is. Like, I'm just giving you the nature and reality of it.
I don't give a fuck. I don't care. This is why I don't watch this much anime. Fuck anime.
And so
now when I'm alone with my girl and we're playing doctor, that might be different.
Time to use my stethoscope skills.
Oh, my handy dandy stethoscope.
Yeah. Anyways, on
Jaz has a notebook.
The next 3 points are kind of minor, but also I need you guys to hear it. So I wrote down it's a harem because this is about the point of the story where the girls start like being all over him.
Agglomerating.
Yeah, they did some weird touchy things, and I was like, "What am I watching?" And the very next one is I fell asleep. I actually fell asleep while watching it, and didn't wake up for like a long time.
He woke up. He's like, notes. I fell asleep.
Honestly, that's what happened. So, Ash, you remember when you came home and you came into my room and saw me? I had just woken up. That was that. When I was watching it, I fell asleep, and then you saw me when I woke up.
That's actually hilarious.
Amazing timing.
He fell asleep watching this anime.
It wasn't that good.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was.
That's still all episode 1, though, right?
Yeah, that was episode 1. Actually, that was my last note of episode 1. On episode 2, it starts with the story of how they met, right? The snake girl and the doctor.
Yeah.
Remember their family had like a trade. This was during the war. Yeah. During the war, their family set up a trade.
Like the tail end of it, yeah.
There was a war in the backstory of this anime, by the way.
Yes.
You made quick footnote.
Yeah. Were you gonna say something?
No, that was it.
That was a quick footnote.
Yeah, that was the footnote.
I will say though, this is a good point. I like that like background story that they have, like that little connection that they have before they went to like the doctoring school and everything. The whole like trade setup between the two different races during this war, that's kind of cool, you know, and it's something that probably isn't acceptable culturally, but at the same time it's a little progressive, right?
Yeah. It kind of shows you how I mean, granted, they did take her in as a hostage.
Yeah, I was gonna point that out too.
Yeah, it does still kind of show you that like he was willing, or that his family, right, was willing to like not just see these monster demi people, whatever, as terrible like things to coexist with. They just wanted to prove that you could do it. They took their precautions, right? But they wanted to prove that they could do it.
Yeah, and then because you know they were children at the time, she was young and the doctor was young. They had like this innocent relationship. I would say not relationship as in you know adult relationship, but because how kids are.
They were friends. Like they were
friends. Yeah,
and I thought that was cool. You know, a little bit of a background story to where they are now. Maybe that kind of thing isn't necessary, but it was a good point. I liked it.
Yeah, I think that's something that this show did well. It gave you like, granted, it wasn't like an in-depth world building, like kind of like backstory, but it actually did the bare minimum of like doing something like that.
It never needs to be in depth. If it has a decent amount of backstory and it's just executed well, like this show executed that part really well, and I was like, yeah, I'm in, I'm invested. But then like the rest of the show, it was like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah, the rest of my notes are not good points; they're bad points.
I feel like it did a really good job in that it made you believe why he wanted to be a doctor and why he's the way he is, and what the relationship between the two and why they're so close.
Yeah,
that was like A+, 10 out of 10.
A+. Go
ahead, Jez.
Probably like an 8 out of 10, but still good.
Yeah, I mean, it passed.
Like a B. It's a B-.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on is also along with the backstory. The war turns out not to be such a big deal. I don't know if you guys realize, but they're in peaceful times, right? But that doesn't mean that people aren't going to have their opinions about the other race. In this world, there's like no sign of any sort of like persecution, no sort of like hostility or anything. And it's just like, yeah, that's really unrealistic, especially since of how recent the war was. That's really unrealistic.
Yeah, that's something that I was also kind of interested in too. There was not a lot of conflict.
Yeah.
Like,
and I mean, I'm all for peace, right? But if we're trying to be realistic, the war happened within their lifetime, which I wasn't expecting that. I thought this was like a long time ago, just because of how their interactions were. But no, it was within their lifetime. And then there's like no mention of the war at all. There's no hostility towards each other. Like you said, no conflict, and it's just like, you know, it's the perfect world, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
I see, because I didn't care so much about the show. I didn't care about those like loose ends or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time too, it's a fictional world. Like maybe everything was peaceful. You know, maybe they were like, you know, this is fucking cool, man. This is fucking dope, man. I got me a fucking monster girl on my arm. You know, like
this ain't bad.
This ain't bad. Yeah, it's like, and then so fuck it. Peaceful times for everyone. Yeah. Also, we didn't watch more. I don't know about you guys, and I doubt Jaz did. I didn't watch more than 2 episodes, right? So I'm not gonna say, you know, usually we hold off on the continued shit, right? But just for right now, since we only watched 2 episodes, that might be a thing in further episodes, right? That might be something they do.
I was gonna mention that. It's a spoiler alert for me. I mean, I'm going to continue it. I'm going to at least give it like a few more episodes just to see if they do anything with that. But if they don't do anything, if I don't even catch like a hint within like the next episode, to like maybe even this, like I'll give it maybe 2, right? if I'm like feeling it. I don't know. And if it doesn't do anything with that, I don't know. I'll be out.
But like the show itself isn't about like conflict and shit like that. It's about the daily life of a fucking monster girl doctor. Like what's he gonna do? Fucking topple over this anti-monster girl regime? No, the motherfucker's just gonna.
But Kenny, realistically though, that
no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. We know the acclimation to like someone that you had like a war with for 100 years isn't just gonna be like
that kind of thing would happen in his life.
Yeah, definitely. No, I agree.
Didn't.
I just don't care for this show specifically. Any of that.
Any other footnotes you wanted to add, Jazz?
Like I said, the rest of it's just kind of bad things. I hate how it sexualized animals. Now, I'm all for like beast people. You know, we've seen cat girls in lots of animes. What else? There are other things, right? But it really just humanoid like every kind of creature you can think of and just gave them boobies, and like it's just kind of weird. You know what I mean?
Welcome to fucking anime, dude.
Yeah, welcome to anime, bro. I think they have a genetic engineering room where there's like, how can we put boobs on this?
Nah, dude. They open up the animal encyclopedia. They're just like aardvark. All right.
They've like the
titties.
Stop. And I think they're just like, all right, and there you go.
Like they'll be like, you draw some sketches, but make this aardvark like a woman, like a human woman, right? But give it like an aardvark.
Or do you want a human? I want both.
I want both. Make multiple sketches, and then you turn it in on Tuesday. We'll figure it out.
Like it's the would the dog wear his jeans like this or like this, right? The image, right? So like they have a couple sketches where like they have, is it the top half that you want human? Is the bottom half? Like, what are we going for?
I know we shouldn't elaborate on the point too much, but just to make a little side comparison, remember we were talking about the mechs in Phantasy Star? How the guys are like Gundam looking and the girls are
they look like goddamn the fucking dude mechs in Phantasy Star do look like Gundams and shit, like your typical
and the
fucking
girls
mechas.
Look like humanoids.
They look like
it's kind of like that in the show, right? The beasts in the show, the males look like a minotaur. You know what I mean? They actually look like beasts, whereas the girls look like humanoids.
Yeah, they look human.
There were a couple
like a horn or some shit, or like a tail.
There were a couple episodes. He was like with the merman, and then they had those. They also had. I mean, granted, I agree with you. I'm just saying, like it was like small. It was like slight representation of like a male like.
Wait, I gotta argue with that. Merman is a terrible argument for this.
That's true. I mean, I mean, I don't know, man. I just wanted to rebuttal. That's just really it.
Get it out of here.
No rebuttal denied.
Rebuttal denied. Move the table.
Yeah, you got your shit got tabled, son.
And me being nitpicky as I am, the scene where I don't remember her name, the mermaid just falls into the ocean and starts sinking. Okay, I don't know if you guys know this, but both human and people float. Or human and people. Both human and fish float. So she wouldn't be sinking like that.
Inside of them.
Yeah, supposedly she had oxygen trapped inside of her lungs.
No, she had water. No, so she didn't transfer from gill to lung breathing or whatever. That was the malfunction she was going through, right? And
yeah. Sure.
So because she didn't like transfer quickly between them, instead of air being processed through, it was just water just had rushed into her lungs, and so she was like sinking because she didn't have any oxygen in her body, so she just sunk. I agree with you that things should float when that's because oxygen's trapped inside the body, right? When people die, right? But in like
do
really
fish
cold
have
water
oxygen trapped inside their body? Because fish float.
Eventually, they do sink, though.
I know.
Yeah, they do.
All I know is that I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care. I was just like, I was like, oh, the second one's a mermaid episode. Great, I'm gonna enjoy it. Let's go. And then I was like, it's over with. Get me out.
I can go back.
Cue Cue up Food Wars, baby.
There we go.
Tried and true. That's your palate cleanser.
Fucking ban him. Ban him from the server. Ban him out. Get him out. All right.
That's all. Like I wrote down I hate harems, but you already know that.
That's true. Kenny, go ahead.
It's shit.
Oh.
It's absolute shit. I didn't like it. Like 10 seconds in, the dude's fondling the Minotaur girl, right? Or whatever. And I'm just like, I'm out. That's it. I threw my hands up. I'm like, I hate the show already. Let's get the fuck out of here. I can't believe it was faster than Peter Grill.
Surprisingly, yeah. Surprisingly
faster. Get me the fuck out of there. I will say though, the show is better than Peter Grill, but it's still enough. It's like if Peter Grill was like -10, this shit's like -1. All right, or 0. Okay. I'll put it at 0.
It's 0. No, I don't think I would be that harsh on it, right? But it's one of those animes that's just not for me. It's not for me. I do want to go into what Jaz had mentioned though. I am hopeful, right, that maybe there'll be more conflict, right? I doubt it. I already mentioned that I was going to continue it, maybe like 1 or 2 episodes, right, at most, just to see if like they do anything with it. However, I feel like there's a lot of potential there. Maybe they could have done like him being a doctor during like maybe towards the end of the conflict, right? I feel like that would have been a cooler concept. Like, you have a doctor who's supposed to be helping people, right? But instead of helping people, he's just like, no, I'm going to be helping these demi-humans because insert noble reason here, right? And
I think he was attending school after the conflict because the war had ended for 10 years.
The war had ended, yes. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it would have been better, right? Instead of him being a doctor after this conflict, right? Him being a doctor during the conflict.
I have a question. I don't know if you guys remember, because I don't know if I remember. But they reunited the snake girl and the dude, the childhood friends. They reunited.
At the academy. Yes.
All right.
At the doctor's academy.
Yeah. Right. I don't know if it was explained or what the reasoning is, but why the fuck was the snake girl just an assistant if they went to the same school for the same thing?
She is a doctor.
Yeah, she's a doctor.
Full-fledged is. Yes, they're both. She's a doctor as well. Yes.
But she just like referred to him as referred to herself as an assistant all the time, and I was like, why? Why are you referring to yourself? Did she call herself
an assistant?
Like quite a few times.
I'm asking is because he calls her doctor too. So
yeah,
right. But that's what I'm saying. She referred to herself as the assistant a lot because I remember it clearly, and I was just like, why is she doing that? It's throwing me off. Are you a doctor or are you the assistant? Or are you both? You know what it is? That's just even weirder.
You know what it is? In certain circumstances, she needs to be an assistant to him. It's never the other way around. So, like, for example, in the situation with, like, they were doing the physicals for all the arena fighters, right? They were both doing separate physicals because they didn't need each other to help, like, do the physicals, right? But when it came to, like, holding the girl, the for episode 1, when they were helping the centaur, she wrapped her up. So I feel like in those situations where like she needs to be in the room and like grab items for him while he's doing, she's an assistant technically, even though she is a doctor. So
another thing that should be noted is that it is his family's clinic, so naturally he should be the head of like that little group. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They opened up the shop because one of his professors had given or had helped him out. We don't know how. It was just mentioned that she helped him out.
I would think they would just be on equal footing.
Yeah,
like, if they were both like, it just kept rubbing me the wrong way. I was just like, why does she keep referring to herself as the assistant if they both do the same shit? If they both went to the same school, learned the same thing, and work the same job. It rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't like it.
Yeah, no, it's completely valid. I mean, yeah, because I I'm just trying to give you an explanation because I don't remember. Yeah. It was a hot minute since I watched this. You know, I did move in to my dorm, so it's been like I kind of watched it early, but I watched it as soon as possible. To be completely
I watched
honest.
it pretty early. Like so I don't it's not as fresh in my head. I just but I'm glad I watched it early because I do not give a fuck about these shows at all. I got this shit out of my life quickly as possible, just like my ex. She got out of.
Now, so I mean, yeah, that's about it.
I'm just busy right now. Close my door.
Ooh, we get to cut that out. Hell yeah. So, but other than that, I think that kind of wraps it up for both of those shows. I think I'm the only one that's going to be continuing one of these shows, and that's going to be this one, just because I want to see if there's potentially any conflict. But I have a strong feeling that it's just going to be. It's just going to be that formula that show up. Wow, this is a really cool city. Yeah, insert demi-human. They coexist here. Oh wow, finds one that is hurt or something, heals it. They go through whatever, and then
joins the harem.
Moves on to the next city, rinse and repeat kind of thing. But I just hope that I'm just hoping that they maybe do some more world building. I want to give it a little bit more of a chance to do so. Yeah. Speaking of giving it a chance, we're gonna go ahead and go straight into our next segment with Kenny and myself for the shows that we did continue.
Yeah.
Jesse, did you continue? No, you didn't continue.
He said maybe. He put it on the shelf that he might revisit Woodpecker.
So you didn't continue any of the anime?
I didn't continue it.
All right, let's just try to get through this kind of quickly so we don't let Jazz be late to work. We
did run a little bit later for this recording.
We respect Jazz's time. Real quick for me, I'm just gonna be really quickly with this. I'm just gonna literally just read what I wrote.
What anime?
So yeah, I'm gonna start with Woodpecker's Detective's Office.
Okay.
For me, I do want to continue watching it, but it's kind of like too slow for me. Like it's still great. It's still like all the things that I like about it, and I still really like about it. But it's just a bit too slow. I'll eventually get back to it. I'll eventually visit it again. Mm-hmm. But I'm just like, whatever.
I did kind of start feeling that. I watched 2 more episodes of Woodpeckers, but I did have to stop because, like I said, I was moving in, and first week of university came back, so I did kind of like dial back on that. However, yeah, I do agree with you. The pacing could just be a little bit faster. They could just get to the point just a little bit more. A little bit quicker,
a little bit, yeah.
But it still doesn't take away. It still doesn't take away from the show. I still think it's a lot of fun. It's a lot more worth it. The whole arc, kind of really sad with the girl from episode 2, at the end of episode 2.
This is a spoiler.
Spoiler. Because we're now we've gone past the intro. Now we've gone past the intro. So like definite spoilers. You know, we learned the conclusion of who killed the brothel girl, and it was herself. Mm-hmm. She was trying so hard to get to.
Oh yeah. Oh.
She was trying really hard to get with the teacher, the friend of the main detective, and the main detective was trying so hard to set them 2 up, and he kind of wanted the dog or his friend to suffer a little bit because he was too dense and just didn't see like what he just couldn't kind of connect the dots between the romance that she was trying to have with him, and she was already like fatally ill, so like she was just like, well, I at least got a night with him, I had a good time, and he was kind to me, so she just kind of commits seppuku, and
fucking offs herself, bro.
She does, but she does it on her own terms, and like that whole like them reaching that conclusion was a bit slow, but when they got to it still hit, and I was like, that's
didn't hit for me.
I thought it did for me.
I honestly, it just took just a little too long to get there. I was just like, all right, you guys are fucking circling the fucking.
They did make a joke about that, and that made me laugh. It was just like they were all trying to figure out like what happened that night, right? And they went to the local cafe that they usually go to, right? Him and all of the roommates and all the tenants, they were all trying to figure out like what had happened. And this one person shows up like, oh, I couldn't help but overhear you talking. Maybe this happened, right? And then another person would be like, yeah, I wasn't eavesdropping, but maybe this happened, right?
Yeah.
And then eventually one of the guys at the table,
get the fuck out! Come on.
Eventually, the one guy at the table is just like, oh god, not another one, right? Like these dudes just keep coming out of the woodworks, bro. And that joke made me kind of laugh because I mean, granted, you know.
Another guy walking by outside of the shop was like, I couldn't help but overhear.
Hey man, I couldn't help but overhear you guys talking about that murder.
I want Peter Girl to watch this show because my man said no to an already paid hooker.
Oh man, so that now I'm gonna go ahead and let you go into Demon King.
Look, so I did continue Misfit of Demon King Academy, and the first 2 episodes don't compare to the next 2 episodes and the 2 episodes after that. Like the first 2 episodes.
Wow, you went in.
The first 2 episodes are kind of shit, actually, but like it had enough. It had enough to keep me like, there's something here. It's got something, and I want to see how it builds on it, and it does really well, honestly. But I'm gonna just keep it to what I have in my notes because I don't really care to elaborate. It does suffer too much trying to get out of the gate, but it does kind of nail down what it's trying to be. Like it's not trying to be overly serious, right? But it's trying to be kind of funny about it. Like this motherfucker's OP as shit.
Yeah,
that's kind of the whole deal. And the guy's trying to like figure out why everyone fucking forgot who he was, right? And so the next 2 episodes, especially, like really just like, all right, fuck all this bullshit. We're going right into it. We're gonna figure this shit out. All right. It has a flashback episode to one of his like right hand men, where he like, you know, he's like a beast ass swordsman or some shit, and like he gets reincarnated again as a student in the academy, and the guy's just like, I don't care about this royalty shit or this whatever shit. I just want to fucking sword fight people, dude. I just want
to fight people.
I'm just trying to
stab.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do all that, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. I agree with that. That's cool. And they have this big fight, and it's fucking hilarious. They get all buddy and chummy. It's cute. The sisters like patch up their thing, and I still don't like how they patched up their
so quickly
relationship. Like, cause like it did some bullshit, right? Where it was like oh, like we're just
I hate this person with every ounce of my body. They are not my sibling. I will never call them that too.
Yeah. So like, God, no. Wait, listen. So that was all bullshit too. Apparently, she was trying to betray. She was just being nice to betray them in the end, right? Because they had like some mission they had to do. They betrayed her, tried to kill her, whatever.
God.
It explains why she's supposedly so hateful to her sister and what she's trying to do to, like, I don't know, fix the problem or whatever. But it's really dumb. I didn't like that part. But I am a big fan of the fucking Demon King, and because he's just a good character. Damn it, he's not scared of shit. He respects his parents, and he's a good person. Even though he's a Demon King, his parents
Christian boy
are not just comedy relief that I've learned. They're really like they're funny as shit, but they were put in some situations that aren't funny, very not funny at all. Right? Like the mom got attacked, and there's a fan club for the Demon King.
Yes, dude.
A fan club for the Demon King, and they try to defend his mom while she's being attacked, and they get fucking annihilated. They got fucking shit on, right? So the Demon King comes by, and he's like, yeah, no, like
yeah,
they tried. I was like, they tried and they died, and I was like, yes. like I appreciate what you've done here, because I already know you're gonna get revived. The Demon King's gonna show up, and guess what? Here he is. I'm reviving you. And then he's like, tell me your names. That's not actually his voice, but tell me your names. And they like one by one introduce themselves to the Demon King, and he's like, I'll remember your names, and then kills revives, but revives the assailant as a different person. Like they aren't who they were originally.
Before, okay, he just has the power to do that now. I mean,
he's OP as shit. Like
I'm glad that you're able to get some enjoyment out of it.
It's dope. He uses there's a tournament. There's a tournament.
All right, I'm in. I'm back in.
There's
All
a
right,
I'm in. It's a fucking sword. It's a sword fighting tournament, right?
I'm in.
And
you hear that, Jazz?
And Peter Girl had a tournament.
Right, but you can actually see this tournament.
That was at the beginning, and
it's a small tournament. It's kind of quick, right? It's not super central to the plot, but it is in this sense because the tournament it was a sword fighting tournament, right? So aforementioned best friend that got reincarnated as a swordsman, Super Beast, right? Yeah, he's in this shit too. He's got his own story that he's got to like deal with and shit, right?
So you're telling me is that it's worth it?
Yeah, well, I enjoyed it. If you want to watch it. If you can get past the sister bullshit, and you can, and like, it's hard, honestly, because I do not like the sister bullshit at all.
It's a huge oversight.
It's hard to accept it, but the Demon King himself kind of overcomes it. Like I think that the big main arc of the story is enjoyable enough for me. So yeah, but right. I think there are new characters. For example, his best friend that gets reincarnated. He is interesting. You learn more of the elders and the fan club. The fan club is fucking hilarious. It's exactly what you expect from a fan club, but it's funny. Like it's not too much. It's not too much.
It's just enough.
Yeah, okay. and then the sword tournament, right? It's not that big of a deal, but it's central to the best friend and to the Demon King, because the reason the mom was attacked was because she was carrying his sword back home, and apparently in the rules he had to use the same sword, so they were trying to steal the sword away.
So he would. Okay, I got you.
And the sword was made by his dad, right? Oh. So the Demon King himself was like, nah, I'm not even going to be in the tournament. And then his dad shows up with a sword and he's like, I bet
I'm going to be in this tournament.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm in.
I'm in.
Honestly, all right, well, his parents, man, they are.
His parents are.
Now, I mean, knowing
his
that
parents are great. Keep watching if you like his parents.
So yeah, you know what? I might go back into it. I still haven't decided yet. I'm definitely going to continue watching Woodpeckers though. I mean, I'm a little bit more invested in that. So what I might do is if I catch up on Woodpecker or if I'm just in the mood to,
just watch an OP character do OP shit, and it's fucking great. I don't know.
All right.
It's like
you hooked me in on more parent screen time from last week's episode, as well as the tournament. I just love tournaments. I'm a sucker for those.
It's a small tournament. It's a small tournament. It's not big.
It's enough.
It's enough. It's central enough.
You brought me back in.
Look, this is the name
had me in the first half. I'm not gonna lie.
This is the name of it. Magic Sword Tournament.
I am in.
Let's go.
All right. So
it does hit its stride. It
takes a lot longer. Okay.
Yeah, it does find its footing.
I will be continuing. Monster Girl Doctor. However, I'm going to be alone in that. So next week it's just going to be me in that segment. So, let's go, dude. And then we're going to wrap this episode up with our final two animes. We don't have to do a drawing this week because we're going to finish the remaining two animes. So next week is the week of Jazz. For all you Jazz lovers out there, we're just going to be nonstop jazz action. So
I have the posters up right now.
Yeah, I haven't hung them up yet, but they're in safekeeping. I'm express shipping them. I didn't want them to get damaged on the way home. So
if you want, you can, Jazz, you should probably also do this. Open up try to get like the thumbnails or the posters of the show on your computer real quick, or on your phone, whatever is easiest.
Yeah, I'll just
we'll just do like some quick initial impressions.
Yeah. Let's see here. We have
which one are we doing first?
My teen romantic comedy SNAFU is one, and then Rent a Girlfriend was the other one, correct?
Yeah. We can do teen romantic SNAFU first.
All right, let's see here. Teen romantic comedy SNAFU. So exactly what's going to happen when Hachiman Hakikawa is isolated as a high school student with no friends, no interest in making any, and belief that anyone's else supposedly great high school experiences are either delusions or outright lies, is coerced by a well-meaning faculty member into joining one-member service club run by Yukino, who is smart, attractive, and generally considers everyone in her school to be her complete inferior. Okay. So this one apparently has 3 seasons?
Yeah. So
this is okay.
Yeah. So
this has been going for a hot minute.
Yeah. So we can talk about it real quick. So I've already watched the first 2 seasons.
Oh, yeah. So that's it. So it still hit the list because only you've been the only one that has watched.
Yeah. Gotcha. So I'm just gonna let you guys get like a quick first impression off of the poster. What are you guys seeing here?
Man, I can tell which one's the shy one. The girl in the left looks to be like worst waifu. One on the right, maybe best waifu. I don't know.
All right.
Let's see here.
What about the dude? There's a dude here.
There's a guy.
that dude is just chilling with I don't know. You know what? I feel like he's going to be like the secretary in Kaguya-sama, right? The dude that just kind of happens to be there at the wrong times every time, right? And yeah, I feel like he's going to be a funny character. I don't know why. We only see half of him in this poster, but man, I feel like that's going to be a funny dude.
What about you?
Funny guy vibes.
I already have some preemptive exposure to it because I watch clips on YouTube, right? Crunchyroll uploads like clips. They're like a minute long, but I kind of know these characters already a little bit because of those. So the guy, he has no friends.
Wait. We're not speaking about the actual show, just the poster.
Right. Just impressions.
Just the poster.
Well, I thought we were talking about like what we think about the characters because you asked Ash like so.
No, just the poster.
He thought about what I thought about that character in the back because I didn't say anything about him. He was on the poster.
Just the poster because you can't tell he doesn't have friends on the poster.
I mean, he's not with the group. They're all like huddled together, and he's off to the side. So.
I mean, you can. That's fine, but we're not talking about other stuff. We're just the poster. Keep it confined to the poster. That's why I'm not saying anything because I've watched 2 seasons of this damn thing. 2 seasons.
The girls in the middle are the girls in the middle are huddled together. Like I said, I've had a little preemptive exposure to it, but I don't know. I don't think this is like the best image for poster. The show. I think they could have done a lot more.
They probably could have. All right, let's move on.
We're going to move on to the following show, which is Rent a Girlfriend. Amazing title, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Kazuya is a 20-year-old failure of a college student. Wow, that's a good opening. Oof. He managed to kiss his girlfriend once, but was dumped after a month.
Same.
I never want to go through that again. Completely spiteful, Kazuya uses a certain method to date a girl. He goes to their meeting place and suddenly hears, "You're Kazuma-kun, right?" A beautiful girl brushing her long black hair behind his ear was there, smiling at him. Her name was Chizuru. Something real is born after a single rental. What? A reckless rom-com filled with love and excitement is about to begin.
I'm in.
Kenny already loves rom-coms. So
I'm a big rom-com guy. Like.
You're a rom connoisseur.
I'm a rom-com connoisseur of the sorts. You see, I'm a. What's the wine one?
I do not know.
Okay, never mind.
Guys. I'm proud of you.
Okay, yeah. So I have the poster up here. The 4 girls side by side.
I don't think you can glean much about this, man. I mean, I'm assuming it's like a service that you just rent dates
4
out.
girls side by side. Yeah,
I think he just. I don't know.
And he rents a girlfriend.
If we're just going through waifu quality,
he goes to Blockbuster and he's like, "I want that one."
R.I.P. Blockbuster, gone too soon, but never forgotten. We're gonna go. All right, so long-haired brunette girl with the red dress, 10 out of 10. It's red. There you go.
Nah, dude. Hey, the one on the far left, the blue girl, fucking reminds me of Sailor Moon. Which one's her?
Yeah, Sailor. Which one was it?
Oh, we're about to get our anime weeb. We're gonna get our weeb cards.
Yeah, Mercury. Yeah, it was Mercury for sure. Because
Mercury.
Mars is the red one, and Jupiter.
Yeah, I mean,
is the green
I will
one.
never forget Mars, bro.
Yeah, so Mercury. Yeah.
Yeah.
We might be wrong. Who knows? Weebs, I do not give a fuck.
Weebs, correct us.
I'm pretty sure we're accurate, even though it's been 20 years.
Look, all I know is Sailor Jupiter's the best one. Don't listen to Ashton. He's got trash taste. This whole episode is dedicated to his trash taste.
You know what? I deserve that. I honestly deserve that with the 2 anime that I picked as well. All right. I'm still gonna fight for Mars, but I mean, looking at the beautiful track record after these, bro, I'm just telling you, man. I just hope that doesn't change your opinions about me and my taste in shows.
He's still a great dude. Still a great dude.
Just trash taste.
He's a JoJo's fan. Take that as you will.
I'm not gonna say anything on that matter. JoJo fans, where you at though? All right. Yeah, Jazz. Is there anything else you want to add on that poster?
Can't really glean much from the poster itself.
Yeah,
this is just like SNAFU, you know.
So just.
But also, in similar vein as SNAFU, I've had preemptive exposure to this show, and I can already tell it's going to be great.
I'm gonna need you to answer the question, Jazz.
Look,
what's up?
All I know
best waifu out of these 4. Just pick it.
Do I have to?
Go.
I mean, you have to. I'm forcing you to.
It's the one you pick. She's the best one.
There we go, dude. Trash taste. I'm gonna end it on that note. I'm gonna end it on that note of me being right and me not having bad taste after this horrendous episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. And next episode we'll be talking about those 2 anime as well as drawing a new set of 2 from a list of 6. So stick around and
we'll just do the drawing fucking live, bro. We'll just put up the fucking. We'll pull up the fucking simulcast list, bro. We'll just. We
might. We'll just go real hard in there. But thank you guys so much for watching. This has been 2-Tap Anime. I'm Ashten.
2-Tap Anime.
That's Jazz, and that's Kenny. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.